Okay, another week of option trading results. Once a week, I go over the trades I made for the week, or actually closed for the week, and share how I'm doing. So let's take a look. But before we go too far, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And this is not financial advice at all. This is just me sharing what I'm doing to supplement my retirement. And I get this question all the time, so I just go ahead and share it right off the get go. The money I'm using for my option trading represents about 10% of our total bucket of money. And that money that I make from the options goes into the cash living expense bucket, along with a little bit of the income fund bucket goes over to the cash living expense bucket. And these proportions maybe are out of whack just a little bit because the stock market's been doing some things, and it might be the same percentages, but let's go ahead and see how we did. Okay, right off the get-go, let's go ahead and highlight these right here. And for the week, we made $1,290. So the trades we closed were TNA on the 4th. So the 4th was on Monday. And then MSFU I closed, which is the leveraged version of Microsoft, made 212. And then on the 4th, we closed a cash could put on the leveraged version of Tesla, made $260. And then we also closed on Wednesday, AAL, American Airlines, and made 170. So I see a lot of posts, people are wanting to get started with option trading, and they're asking questions and asking how you get started. And American Airlines is one that I would recommend if I was in the position to recommend anything. I'm not. Let's just say if my kids were asking me. So if my kids were asking me what ticker, what stock could they do an option on, I may tell them do American Airlines and do one contract. So they could do a cash secured put at a $10 strike price. I did 11 here. Go out about 30 to 45 days, and you'd have to put up like $1,000 in collateral. So you have to have $1,000 cash in your account, and you could potentially make, $20 to $50. And the chances of really losing any money are pretty slim. In fact, I do have a couple videos out there on actually American Airlines on how to do a cash secured put on American Airlines. And so it's not just something I'm saying, like in theory, I actually do options on American Airlines. And so here's an example right here where I made $170 on 5 contracts. I had to put up $5,500 in collateral. And if you look at the annual rate of return, it was 75%. Now I can't do that week in and week out, but really I do pretty well. These trades aren't going on constantly, but you look at the annual rates of return, if I were doing these constantly, they're quite well. My goal is 30% per year, and I've easily been hitting that. Now let's keep going. So we got AAP, which is the leverage version of Apple. I did 3 contracts and made 126. And then NVDL, I should have not have closed this one as soon as I did, because NVIDIA, it was 97 when I closed it right here. I think it's something like 110 or something right now. Actually, pop this open, 107 right over here. So should have kept that one. And then an expiration would have been today, so I would have made out quite well. Actually, I would have just made an additional $75 probably. It's not like the end of the world or anything. And then I did a cash card put on Uber. I had a 70 strike price, 1 contract. I made $129. And actually, Uber is something I might do another cash secured put on early next week. So Uber right now is at 75. If I look at the chart. So if I look at the chart here, it's been trading in a range of about 69 to 70 and as high as about 78, close to 80 since around February. So 1, 2, 3, about 4 months, just kind of trading in this range. And, if you click on the analysis, I like to see what it's been doing. So it's been kind of missing the earnings. So that's probably why it isn't shooting up as much as the other stocks. Look at the annual revenue. It's been growing quarterly, not doing crazy well. If I look at the analyst insights, what the pros think. You look, there's 54 recommendations. There's 10 strong buys. There's 36 buys. And then you look at the price target. The price target is $104 average and it's trading for 75. So it's something that if I did a cash secured put, got assigned shares, let's say at 70, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. So maybe Monday I might do 1 or 2 cash secured puts on Uber. I did tell myself I was going to stick to the Magnificent Seven, the leveraged versions of stocks for the most part, although I did do AAL. And if you look down here, I have, let's see, for cash secured puts, I have Carnival Cruise Lines, I have Samsara, and the rest of these are the Magnificent Seven. For the most part, I have some cover calls on Hood and SoFi, but those are not cash secured puts. Those are shares I got assigned previously from cash secured puts. And something I also decided to do is not go too heavy on one stock, because you look at Robinhood here, I got 27,000 shares of stock here in one account, plus another 16,000 if you count this contract and this contract, so 17,000. So over $40,000 worth of Robinhood stock. And my cost basis is probably averaging close to $100 a share and is currently trading at 70 something. So anyhow, moving on, there's Uber. I might do another cash secured put on that next week, 1 or 2. And if you look at the expiration dates here, I sort these on when I close the trade. So these are everything I got closed. All these here are trades that are currently ongoing and open. And if you look at the expiration dates here, the 15th, so next Friday, there's going to be a whole bunch of things I'm going to have to close between now and next Friday, or just let these expire. So probably most of these cover calls like SoFi, Robinhood, those will probably just expire and I'll keep all the premium. Some of these other ones, I may close them early. This TSLL, I have a cover call at 14 strike price. It is currently trading at, I think, 15.62. So those shares will be taken away from me, which is just fine because my cost basis is $13.39. So not only am I making premium, I'll make about 70 cents per share when those get taken away. Now, some people might look at that and say, you're selling these for 14 when you could be getting 15.50. That's the thing about options. Sometimes things don't really go perfect, but the idea of this whole account, remember, this is 10% here. The whole idea of this account is to generate income to supplement my retirement income. So if I want growth, I have a growth bucket to do those things, to let things kind of just sit and ride. And I have a cover call on Lyft. I'm hoping that kind of gets taken away pretty soon. And my base is at 1477. I kind of hope those get taken away here soon so I can free up that money to do cash secured puts on something else and have some shares of BBAI. My basis is 442. I have 1,000 shares of that, so I'm doing 10 contracts at a time. And in the middle of the week here, a couple of days ago, I did a video where I did a cash secured put on IoT Samsara, and that's currently about 20% in the profit. So that was a good trade. I have another one here that's going to expire on the 15th of May, and that should be expiring with totally 100% of the profit. So if all these expire at expiration, and these are formulas that figure things automatically, I highlight this. This is $4,200 in premium that I could earn potentially in the next month or so. So a lot of these are in June, but most of these expire here in May still. But I'm going to go ahead and delete those because I haven't closed those yet and don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched. So in the past, a couple stocks that were doing really well for me was SoFi and NVDL, or ETFs. NVDL is like now, like I said previously, at 105. For about 4 months, I was making about $600 to $800 a week on NVDL, doing cash secured put every week, doing 4 contracts, just over and over and over. It was doing really well, kind of trading in a range between 75 and 85. Then all of a sudden, it kind of broke out of that, shot up to over 100, and I'm been kind of hesitant to do many trades with that because I don't want to have it go crashing down back to the 70s and have cash secured put, let's say like at a 90 strike price, and get stuck holding like 400 shares at $90 per share. So I'm kind of gun shy on that one. So in the meantime, I'll just kind of spread out, diversify, do cash secured puts on like the Meta, leverage, yen. I'll do a little bit of TQQQ. If you look at this one here is September, and I went way down a 30 strike price. And if that goes all the way through September, expires, it'd be $390. And let's say I let this go till expiration. I put the date in here. So if this goes all the way till the 18th, I'll make 390, and that'd be like about 11% return on my money. So I'll earn 11% on the 9,000. So it's not great, but it's, it's not the 30% that I'm shooting for, but it's not bad. So this probably will go till expiration. It probably will go all the way to zero. Be on the 18th of September. So this is probably what will happen with this one here. And I think I mentioned in last week's video, I actually used margin for this one here, something I usually don't do, but the chances of this going all the way down to 30 is about a 6% chance. So the delta here, if you don't know, is a couple things. One thing you can look at it as is the percent that you're going to get assigned shares or have shares taken away from you. So you look, I'm kind of being pretty conservative on the deltas here, like, 0.14, which would be 14%. Here we got like 33%, 35%, 30%. This one here was 54%, only because Facebook took a big drop here after earnings, and I felt like it was going to bounce back quickly. So METU, or is MT, so it's actually at 24.69 right now. So I'm hoping that goes up. But the delta on that was 0.54, which is something I tried something just a little bit different. And this is June, and I only did one contract. But if it does expire and I'm in the profit, I'll make $225. Or the worst case is that I buy 100 shares of the stock for $25 a share, which isn't a horrible thing. So I'll delete those. I'll delete that. Better delete that. Okay, got my spreadsheet back the way it's supposed to be looking. So anyhow, I'll wrap it up here. So next week there'll be a lot of action because I'll have to close all these or they'll expire. They'll do something. I'll probably do a couple cash secured puts next week, probably on Uber. And if I look at my watch list here, I don't know. If I didn't already own so many shares of SoFi, I'd probably do a couple cash secured puts on SoFi, but I own too many shares now. And I actually might do a couple more cash secured puts on METU and maybe MSFU. And I'll keep an eye on Carnival Cruise Line. And another one that I haven't done any trading on for a long time is Netflix here. If I click that up, I should see if there's a leveraged version of the Netflix. So if I look at the 6-month chart here, Netflix has just been kind of trading in a range between 75 and upwards to 100. Maybe it was going down for the longest time, then it kind of went up, and then now it's kind of going down. So I might keep an eye on that one. And let's see what else. I already have a couple on IoT, Samsara. Anything else looks really enticing at this moment. I already have some cash secured puts on Carnival Cruise Line, and I already own some Lyft. I don't want to do any cash secured puts on that right now because I already own some shares on that. Doing cover calls, trying to get those taken away. So nothing too exciting here. And I'm kind of staying away from TQQQ and I think UPRO for now. The only way I'll do any of those in the next couple weeks is if I do things way out in the future with a really low delta, because these have got to slow down a little bit and bounce back down. If I click on TQQQ here, you can see it was trading like in a range here around $50, $55. for the longest time. Then it went down a little bit, was down way down like at 37. And just think if you would have bought 1,000 shares right there or whatever and let it ride all the way up to here. Actually, I did buy about 50 shares right here somewhere for my granddaughter's Roth IRA, and I think I paid 42 for it actually, probably back in here somewhere, and continue to go down. And now it's up like at 76. And I think I'm going to sell those shares probably early next week because this has got to take a dip here sometime. The RSI is at 83. I mean, everything I'm looking at this is it bounced outside the Bollinger Band. Everything I'm looking at is telling me that this has got to bounce back down here pretty soon. I've been gone for the past 2 days. If I would have been around yesterday and today, I probably would have sold those shares in here yesterday or today and wait till these bounce back down and then buy them back and then maybe pick up a couple extra shares if I do that. So, and remember, TQQ moves triple of the QQQ. So just as fast as it goes up, it can go down equally as fast. So we'll wrap it up here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, this is not financial advice, just me sharing what I'm doing.